You ever stare at your phone wondering why his name still hasn't popped up? You replay the last conversation, scroll through old messages and tell yourself maybe he's just busy. But deep down something doesn't add up. He used to text first, he used to chase. Now it feels like you're the only one holding the thread, waiting for something that used to come so naturally. Here's the truth that no one really tells you: it's not always about you doing something wrong. Most of the time when a man stops reaching out, it's because something shifted in the emotional dynamic, something subtle, something he can't even explain, and that shift decides who holds the power of connection. In this video, we're going to uncover exactly why he's gone quiet, and more importantly, how to flip that energy so he reaches out first, because chasing doesn't bring him back. Alignment does. You'll learn how to create that silent pull that makes him feel your absence, not just notice it. It's not about games, it's about psychology, energy, and confidence, the kind that makes him remember why he was drawn to you in the first place. So before you send that next "hey" text, watch this through. Because once you understand this shift, you'll never need to wonder why he's not reaching out again. He will, and it'll be his idea. When a man pulls back, most women instantly feel panic. That sudden distance, those slower replies, that change in tone, it hits something deep. You start to wonder, did I say something wrong? Did I come on too strong? But here's the paradox. The more you try to fix it, the more he withdraws. And that's because attraction doesn't grow in pursuit. It grows in space. Men are wired to protect their sense of autonomy. When they feel emotionally overwhelmed or pressured, even in subtle ways, their instinct is to retreat, not because they've lost interest, but because they're subconsciously trying to recalibrate. It's like they need to miss you to feel safe wanting you again. And this is where most people make the mistake. They chase that missing energy, trying to fill the silence with words, calls, explanations, when in reality, the silence is what reawakens the attraction. Pullback is not rejection. It's a test of emotional balance. When you stay grounded and secure in your own energy during this phase, you send a powerful, unspoken message. I'm not waiting for you to validate my worth. That confidence, that calm detachment, flips a psychological switch in his mind. Suddenly, the woman he thought he could take for granted becomes mysterious again. And curiosity is the spark of renewed desire. This is where attraction is rebuilt. Not through confrontation, not through asking what's wrong, but through your absence having weight. When you stop chasing his attention, he starts feeling the loss of your energy. The texts that once came easily start to echo in his memory. The conversations, the laughter, the feeling of being seen, all start to replay in his head. And that's when something powerful happens. His pullback turns into pursuit. Because you didn't chase, you allowed him to feel the natural consequence of your silence. Attraction isn't about getting someone to move toward you. It's about being the kind of person they can't help but move back toward. When you understand that dynamic, you stop reacting and start leading the energy of the connection. When he goes silent, the hardest thing in the world is to not react. That silence can feel louder than any argument. It echoes with uncertainty, self-doubt, and fear. You start replaying every little moment, trying to find the turning point. You convince yourself that if you just reach out one more time, send one more message, or explain how you feel, maybe he'll come back. But here's the truth. That impulse to fix things is exactly what pushes him further away. When a man pulls back and you respond with panic, constant texting, checking his stories, asking what's wrong, you break the emotional rhythm that attraction needs to breathe. You start speaking from fear instead of confidence. And fear doesn't inspire connection. It creates resistance. When you chase, you accidentally tell him, "You control how I feel." That shift in energy makes him feel pressured, not pulled. So what should you not do? Don't over-explain. Don't write long paragraphs trying to justify your feelings. Men don't connect through explanations. They connect through emotional impact. When you keep explaining, it can start to feel like noise. Silence, on the other hand, carries power. It forces him to sit with the absence of your energy. Don't post cryptic quotes or stories hoping he'll notice. That might feel empowering in the moment, but it often signals that you're still emotionally chasing. Attraction doesn't thrive in reaction. It grows in emotional independence. When you stop trying to make him notice you, That's when he actually starts to. And don't assume his silence means it's over. Sometimes, a man pulls back because he needs to process, to feel safe missing you. But when you interrupt that process by demanding answers, you rob him of the chance to feel your absence. Let him sit with that space. Let him wonder what you're thinking, what you're doing, and whether someone else is capturing the energy he once had. That curiosity is what reawakens his motivation to reach out. Also, don't self-sabotage by changing your behavior just to get a reaction. Posting thirst traps, pretending to move on, or using reverse psychology usually backfires. The goal isn't manipulation, it's magnetism. Quiet confidence that comes from knowing your value doesn't depend on his attention. When he goes silent, your power lies in stillness. Keep living, keep shining, keep showing up as the version of yourself that existed before him. That energy, the one that made him notice you in the first place, is what will call him back, naturally. Not your words, not your efforts, but your presence. Remember, you don't need to chase what's meant for you. You just need to stop interrupting the moment it realizes your worth. There's a moment, quiet, invisible, when the energy between two people changes. It's not about what you say or do, it's about what you stop doing. That's the secret energy shift that makes him reach out first. It's when you pull your focus away from him and back onto you. When your energy stops chasing, it starts attracting. Men feel energy long before they process words. When your energy says, I need you, he senses pressure. When your energy says, I'm okay without you, he senses freedom, and that freedom draws him back. It's a paradox, but it's rooted in emotional psychology. People are magnetized to what feels light, confident, and unattached. Neediness repels, self-assurance attracts. Think about it. When you're constantly wondering why he's not texting, checking your phone, or trying to do something to make him miss you, your energy becomes frantic. Even if you don't say a word, he feels that pull. It's like emotional static in the air. But when you detach, not coldly, but peacefully, the vibration shifts. You stop broadcasting, I'm waiting for you, and start radiating, I'm focused on me. That's when curiosity wakes up in him. He starts to wonder, why isn't she chasing? Has she moved on? What's changed? And in that wondering, you become the one he thinks about again. Because suddenly, you're unpredictable. You're no longer emotionally available on demand. And that mystery reignites attraction. The secret isn't ignoring him to play a game. It's genuinely pulling your attention inward. Pour your energy into things that expand you. Your work, your passions, your body, your peace. When you start living fully again, the shift is tangible. Your energy becomes magnetic, because it's no longer reaching outward. You become the source, instead of the seeker. This is the moment he starts to feel your absence differently. It's not the silence of punishment, it's the silence of transformation. He can sense that your world no longer revolves around him, that you're not sitting there hoping he'll come back. And ironically, that's what pulls him closer. Because deep down, every person is drawn to someone who seems fulfilled, someone who glows without needing external validation. You don't need to post it. You don't need to prove it. Your energy communicates it for you. And when that shift happens, it's only a matter of time before he reaches out. Not because you manipulated the situation, but because you reminded him, on a subconscious level, of the woman he was first drawn to. Confident, grounded, radiant, whole. That's the power of alignment. You stop trying to get his attention, and suddenly, you have it. Emotional scarcity is not about playing games or withholding love. It's about creating value through presence. When something is always available, it loses its impact. But when access becomes rare, it becomes precious. This is exactly how emotional dynamics work between two people. The moment he feels that your attention, affection, or energy is guaranteed, it stops being something he strives for. But when you pull back with calm confidence, not out of anger but self-respect, he begins to feel the loss of what once came effortlessly. Men are natural pursuers. It's not about ego, it's biology and psychology. When you create emotional scarcity, you reawaken that instinct to pursue. But here's the key. Scarcity doesn't come from pretending to be unavailable. It comes from actually being selective with your emotional energy. It's about recognizing that not everyone gets full access to your time, your warmth, your thoughts, or your heart, especially not someone who's stopped earning it. Think of your emotional energy like a currency. When you spend it carelessly, constant texts, reassurance, over-explaining, it loses its worth. But when you invest it wisely, when you're intentional about where your attention goes, you become rare. And rarity creates desire. Emotional scarcity says, "You can't take me for granted. My love is valuable." This doesn't mean you have to be cold or distant. It means you lead with boundaries and grace. You respond instead of react. You listen without rushing to fill silence. You give, but not endlessly. You let him feel the difference between when you were fully available and when you've chosen to protect your peace. That contrast is what wakes him up. And when he feels that shift, curiosity turns into urgency. He begins to realize that your attention isn't infinite, that the emotional access he once had could be slipping away. Suddenly, your texts feel different. Your silence feels heavier. Your presence feels valuable again. That's emotional scarcity in action. But here's the beauty. You don't create scarcity to manipulate him. You create it to honor yourself. When you stop overgiving, you allow both of you to reset the balance of energy. You remind him that connection with you is something to be earned, not assumed. And that reminder reignites respect, the foundation of lasting attraction. You become unforgettable, not by chasing, but by mastering the art of being missed. When your energy is calm, rare, and confident, it speaks louder than words. He'll reach out not because you pulled away, but because for the first time he feels what life is like without your energy in it. Staying in his mind without contact isn't about manipulation. It's about energy memory. Every connection leaves an energetic imprint, and the way you manage your silence determines whether that memory fades or grows stronger. When you cut contact, but carry tension, resentment, or anxiety, that energy lingers, but not in a way that draws him back. It feels heavy. What keeps you in his mind isn't your presence, it's your peace. The calm, grounded version of you that once made him feel safe, inspired, and curious. When you go silent, your energy starts to speak louder than your words ever could. Men remember emotions, not messages. They replay how you made them feel. Your laugh, your calm confidence, the spark in your eyes when you were in your power. If you can hold that energy while giving space, you become unforgettable. That's the real secret. You stay in his mind by not needing to be there. During no contact, shift your focus completely inward. Heal, expand, glow. Instead of waiting for his message, become the woman who doesn't need it. Do things that awaken your own joy. Spend time with people who love you effortlessly. Invest in your passions. Upgrade your surroundings. Take care of your body, your mind, your soul. That glow up, not the one you post online, but the one that radiates from your energy, becomes magnetic. Because here's what happens energetically. When you stop trying to get his attention, your vibration rises. You move from lack to abundance. You stop chasing what left and start attracting what aligns. That frequency is powerful. It travels. It's felt. And when he thinks about you, he doesn't just remember the silence. He remembers the energy he lost. That's what keeps him wondering. That's what makes him reach out, just to check if the connection is still there. You don't have to remind him of your worth. Your absence already does that. Silence, when it's calm and confident, becomes the loudest statement of all. It says, "I'm good. I've grown. I'm not waiting." And that self-assured energy lingers. It stays in his subconscious, replaying moments he didn't value enough, reminding him of what he's missing, not out of guilt, but realization. The longer you stay grounded in your peace, the stronger your energetic pull becomes. You become the woman who doesn't chase, she attracts. Who doesn't demand, she inspires. And that shift changes everything. He'll think of you not because you tried to make him, but because your energy, your calm, radiant, self-assured energy, refuses to be forgotten. When he finally reaches out, your first instinct might be excitement, that rush of validation after silence. Your heart jumps, your mind starts racing, and before you even realize it, you're typing out a reply, hoping this time things will feel different. But pause, breathe, because this moment, how you respond, sets the tone for everything that follows. When a man reaches out after distance, he's not just saying hello, he's testing the energy. He's feeling out the space between you to see if the dynamic has changed, to see who you are now. So, before you respond, check your own energy first. Ask yourself, am I replying to reconnect, or am I replying to seek reassurance? Because if you respond from need, you'll fall right back into the same pattern that caused the silence in the first place. The best way to respond is with warmth, composure, and restraint. Keep it light, genuine, and emotionally balanced. You don't have to play games or pretend not to care, but you also don't have to overgive. Match his tone, not his effort. If he sends a short message, meet it with a simple positive response. If he starts opening up, you can reflect that energy naturally. The point is to mirror, not manage. Don't rush into deep conversations or emotional closure the moment he reappears. Let the connection rebuild slowly. Remember, he's drawn back to you because your energy changed, because you became peaceful, mysterious, and magnetic. That's the version of you he's subconsciously chasing. If you suddenly slip back into anxious over-communication, that mystery disappears. He'll feel it instantly. Timing matters too. You don't need to respond right away. A few hours, even a day, creates natural space. It communicates that your world doesn't revolve around him anymore. That doesn't mean you're ignoring him. It means you're grounded enough to respond with intention, not impulse. And when you do reply, let your words carry calm confidence. A simple, "Hey, it's good to hear from you," is often more powerful than an essay filled with emotions. The less you try to prove you've moved on, the more it shows. From there, let him lead the pace. If his energy feels genuine, open the door slightly, but don't fling it wide open. Let him earn the right to reconnect. Remember, consistency matters more than contact. Anyone can reach out once. It takes effort to stay present. When he reaches out, your response should mirror your growth. Calm, confident, radiant. You're not chasing anymore. You're choosing, and that quiet confidence is exactly what keeps him coming back. Rebuilding a connection after distance isn't about picking up where you left off. It's about creating something new with the lessons learned. When he comes back into your life, it can feel like a second chance, but it's also a test. The question isn't, will he change? It's, will you hold your new standard? Because the version of you that drew him back isn't the same version that tolerated being ignored. She's evolved, she's self-assured. And if this connection is going to last, it has to align with the woman you've become, not the woman you were when things fell apart. The right way to rebuild starts with emotional honesty, but not emotional exposure. You don't have to pour your heart out or demand closure. Instead, allow the connection to breathe. Let curiosity return before commitment does. Rebuilding takes patience. It's about consistency, not intensity. When he shows up again, don't rush to define what this is. Let his actions show you. A man's consistency will always speak louder than his promises. Start small. A simple conversation, a coffee, a laugh that feels easy again. That's how emotional safety begins to rebuild. Watch his energy. Is he engaging, listening, present, or is he seeking comfort without accountability? If it's the latter, stay grounded. You're not here to rescue the past. You're here to create a future that feels peaceful, not painful. And as you reconnect, keep your focus on you. Keep nurturing your life, your routines, your happiness outside of him. Because the truth is, attraction grows best when there's individuality. When you both have your own rhythm, your own space, your own purpose, the connection becomes balanced. You don't lose yourself trying to hold on to him. Instead, you allow him to meet you in your wholeness. Rebuilding the right way also means setting quiet boundaries, not with ultimatums, but with self-respect. If communication starts to fade again, don't chase it. If he slips back into inconsistency, don't explain your worth, embody it. The way you protect your peace teaches him how to treat you. If he's truly ready to rebuild, he'll match your calm with consistency. He'll show up, not just reach out. He'll respect your pace, your boundaries, your new energy. That's when reconnection becomes transformation. When both of you bring growth instead of guilt. And if he doesn't, that's still power. Because you've already rebuilt something more important, yourself. Rebuilding connection isn't about going back. It's about rising higher, together, or without him. From a place of strength, peace, and truth. At the end of it all, it's never really about getting him to reach out first. It's about understanding why you wanted that in the first place. What that desire was really asking for. Because deep down, it's not just about him texting you or calling you again. It's about wanting to feel seen, chosen, and valued. But here's the truth that changes everything. When you start giving yourself those things, the need for him to give them to you fades. And that's exactly when he shows up. Not because you chased him, but because you finally stopped. Every step you've taken in this journey, from holding back that message, to sitting in the silence, to rediscovering your power, has been about one thing: alignment. You're not manipulating, you're magnetizing. You're not waiting, you're evolving. You've shifted from needing validation to embodying value. And that shift doesn't just change how he sees you, it changes how you see you. If he reaches out, you'll know what to do. You'll respond from peace, not panic. You'll choose from confidence, not fear. And if he doesn't, you'll still rise, because now you know the truth. Your worth isn't defined by someone else's attention. It's reflected in how gracefully you hold your own. The next step isn't about waiting for his text. It's about continuing to nurture that energy you've created. The one that made you magnetic in the first place. Keep pouring into your growth. Keep investing in your peace. Keep showing up for yourself with the same devotion you once gave to proving your worth. Because now, your energy proves it for you. When you reach this level of emotional freedom, love stops being something you chase. It becomes something you attract. Whether it's with him or with someone entirely new, you'll draw in relationships that match the calm, confident energy you've built from the inside out. So as this video closes, take a moment to honor how far you've come. You didn't just learn how to make him reach out. You learned how to reconnect with your own power. The silence that once hurt now serves you. The waiting that once broke you now builds your strength. And the version of you standing here, she doesn't chase, she attracts. She doesn't beg to be chosen. She chooses herself. And that is exactly when everything you once wanted starts finding its way back to you.